Hi guys, it is Lauren and Tiana Lee, and we are back with another episode. I know it's been a while, and we say that every single time we have an episode, but we are happy to be back. I finished school a couple weeks ago, so now I should have some time. I still have some exams to finish off and be licensed from school, but other than that, I don't have to be committed to showing up to school, which is a good thing. So I'll have more time to record. Tiana's still busy grinding away with school, but hopefully, since I have more of an open schedule, I can try to work with her better. Um, Today we are here to talk about our favorite places we've been and then places we want to go. Now, when it comes to favorite places I've been, I literally love every place I go. I feel like every time I go somewhere new, I like fall in love. So it was kind of hard for me to pick my favorite places I've been. But I haven't been to too many places, but it's hard to narrow down my absolute favorites. Except for my number one for out of the country wise that I've been so far. My number one so far is Aruba. I knew that one. That was an easy pick. Aruba is literally one of my favorite places to be. I've been there twice so far, and I definitely want to go back many more times. So yeah, that's one of my favorite places I've been. I didn't mean to jump into it like that, but it just kind of flowed that way. So I have three more places I picked because I didn't want to ramble on forever. But so for Aruba, that's one of my favorite places I've been because the island is so clean, everyone's so friendly. The beaches are beautiful, the weather's beautiful. I guess they like never have a rainy season. And if anything, they have like a couple showers in October and it lasts for like a couple hours and that's it. And it's beautiful the rest of the day. So it's so nice. It's definitely worth spending the money going there if that's like on your to travel to list. I've been to the Bahamas and Punta Cana, and out of those other two, or out of the three, Aruba's my favorite, I would have to say. But I did love Punta Cana too. Punta Cana is not as clean, and the beaches have more seaweed, but the people are also very friendly, and I did love the beaches still. It was just very seaweedy compared to Aruba, which is like not in anyone's control. But I guess it depends on like the season. The season I went wasn't too bad, but I've heard people like have terrible time with the seaweed. So I don't know. But I love Punta Cana too in the Dominican Republic. I had so much fun there, and the resorts are super nice. I stayed at the Majestic Colonial, I believe, a few years ago. When it comes to Aruba, I stayed at a couple different hotels. So the last time I stayed at the Divi All Inclusive, and then the last time I stayed at the Marriott Stellar, I'm not gonna say it right, Stellaris Casino. Um, so I like those two in Aruba. Punta Cana, I liked the Majestic. I would stay there again. So out of those two, Aruba is my favorite, but I love Punta Cana too. So the next thing on my list that is my favorite, I really loved France when I went. I definitely want to go back to France. I liked being in Paris, the Eiffel Tower, the whole touristy thing. Um, I didn't like the museums as much as some people would like them. I was more interested in like touring the castles around France and that type of thing. Looking at art, I feel like I should have had more interest. I don't know if it was because I was so drained because I went with school that I was just like so exhausted to like pay attention to art because I've been to an art museum in Boston just local to me and I thought it was fine. But going to the ones in France, like I was like, I don't know. Some of them were funky, but so I wish I had more appreciation for art than I do. But I feel like I'm not very educated on art at all. Um I don't know. I was so exhausted in France. If I ever did France again, I would say I would not cram my days fully. Like, I know there's the people who travel that like to have something going on from the very start of the morning to like going out at night till like 3 a.m., whatever. I felt like booty because we did that. Because of course, I wanted to go out at night after my school trip itinerary. And I'm glad I went to all these places, trust me. But I would rather be rested and have a longer trip and then actually enjoy these spots than to be exhausted and like get half the experience that I would have if I was rested. So yeah, France, I don't know. I really liked France. Um the next place on my list is some place that literally everyone goes to. But I had to put it because I feel like I at least go there like once a year. So I had to put it. Florida are is one of my favorite places to go, and it's because I like to go to the beaches in Florida. I specifically go to Treasure Island in Florida. Um, I was supposed to go there this past April. I usually go every April at the end of the month, but I didn't this year because my dad had to get back surgery, so we couldn't go because we have timeshare. So now we're going in the fall. But I also go to Disney. I'm a Disney adult that people make fun of, how people always make fun of people like that. But I love Disney. I just went to Disney in February, the end of February, beginning of March, and I really hope that I can go again in the fall. And I want to do a day at Magic Kingdom at least, and I want to do Universal, I think. So like a long weekend type of thing if I can. So that's that for my favorite places I've been. I've also been to um Ecuador. I really enjoyed Ecuador. I've been to the Bahamas. I really enjoyed the Bahamas too. Um, I feel like I've been somewhere else, but I don't even know. That's terrible. My memory, it's just like not there. Oh, I don't even know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but I currently have COVID. So if I'm acting like I have like a little bit less of a brain cell than I usually do, I would like to blame it on that. So, but yeah, those are my favorite places I've been. If I had to pick, um, Aruba's definitely, I think, my number one out of like the abroad spots. Um, but it's hard to compare them all. They're all unique in different ways, and I love them all. Like every place I go, I fall in love. So yeah. Now it's on to Tiana for her favorite places she's been.
All right. So my favorite places, I've only been out of the country, Australia, once. And that wasn't until about 2 years ago, when I went on a cruise with my best friend. So I've only been to two countries. I'd say they're two countries, but I've been to New Caledonia and Vanuatu, which is kind of off the coast of Australia. It's not too far from Australia. I don't actually know how far it is, but I think it took us like 3 or 2 days by boat, so quite a bit of distance. Um, but Vanuatu, out of those two, Vanuatu was definitely my favorite um, of the trip. We went to two islands in Vanuatu. We went to Mystery Island and Port Villa. We were supposed to go to two other islands. We weren't actually supposed to go to Port Villa, but the time I went on my cruise was early 2020. So it was right at the start of when COVID-19 started. I think COVID had actually hit Australia probably. It hit Australia when I was on the cruise, and I was really scared that we would have to quarantine when we got back for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it was back then, because at the time all these people were coming back from other cruises and everyone on the ships had COVID. But anyway, so COVID kind of screwed up my cruise. But anyway, it was fun because Port Villa was probably one of it was my second favorite place of that we went to, and we weren't even supposed to go there. So that was a good thing actually. But Mystery Island was really, really beautiful. It's like a really, really tiny island. There's no really like buildings on it. It's just kind of like the locals, like the tribes, the villages. Um, so that was really good. We, oh, my dogs are barking. We, yeah, literally just like nothing's on it, just all the villages stuff. Everyone there, all the locals were very, very nice, like super duper nice. Um, and it was great. My best friend and I actually went on a like snorkel tour with one of the locals because we didn't want to go with the cruise line, and we just found all these locals doing cruise, like not cruise tours, snorkel tours. So we went with the local, and it was probably one of the best things we did because the locals actually took us out to like the really good spots. So we, I saw a shark, I saw a turtle, I swam with a turtle, saw a shark at the bottom of the ocean floor, which was really scary. They took us out really, really far, and I was really scared because we were going out with other people in different boats, and then they started like stopping, and we were still going out very far, and I couldn't see them anymore. So we were really scared, but they took us to this really amazing like shipwreck, and it was so beautiful. And yeah, the water at Mystery Island, it was just like so clear and blue and just so sunny, and the sand was so white. And yeah, Mystery Island was definitely my top favorite place I've ever been to. Um, and then Port Vila was really good as well. We actually went on like this yacht trip with the locals. It was run by the cruise line, and then the locals took us out. We went on this yacht and we did a cruise, and then we went snorkeling, and that was really, really good because they took us to this like reef with all the corals and everything, and we got to swim around the corals. There was all these fish, and we were feeding fish, and it was really nice. In Port Vila, it's a bit more populated. It's not like so it's deserted and everything. There's like actually buildings, like proper buildings. There's like car dealerships. They actually have cars at this island. Port Mystery Island didn't have any cars. We had to like boat in the ocean and then take little boats actually to the island. So if you were to look at like a map of where Mystery Island is, I'm not actually 100% sure where it is, but it's kind of in the middle of all these islands, and it's just a small island that's kind of just deserted and just has the locals on it. And yeah, you have to actually like take another boat from the boat to get to the island because they have no other like transport. There's no cars on the island. There's nothing. Whereas Port Vila is a bit more populated, and yeah. So basically, Mystery Island is like inhabited, and it's just yeah, the water's just amazing. But Port Vila was really good just because it was a little bit more populated, and I just felt a bit more at ease because I'm just used to having all these people around and everything. But yeah, Port Vila is really, really good. But Mystery Island would definitely be my favorite, just how blue and amazing the island was. So love Vanuatu, love Mystery Island, Port Vila. New Caledonia wasn't my favorite because we went to, what islands did I think we went to two islands in New Caledonia. I'm trying to remember which one we went to. I know we went to Noumea, which is the like capital of New Caledonia, and other places. I just can't remember. But Noumea, I just didn't love because it just didn't give me good vibes. Like the beach, there weren't really any beaches in Noumea. It's kind of more like kind of an industrial type setting. There's a lot of boat rent, and not boat rent, but it's just like shipping stuff for boats. I guess it's the capital where they get all their stock in. It's just so busy. And I think it was just because we were in a place that the main language they spoke was in English. I'm not too sure. I can't really remember what language they actually do speak. It is a mix of English and something else. I can't remember what it was. But I didn't love New Caledonia. It was a good experience and good place to go to. but I just did not love Numia. Just felt I think because it was kind of not, I don't want to say dirty, but it was more on that side. Like I was sorry, not. I think it's just because of how the layout was, and it was our first stop as well. And we didn't. It was only myself and my best friend, and we didn't really know what we were doing. So, we also went to on this cruise in the middle of summer. So we went in the end of January to the start of February. We went for like 9 nights, and at this time it was really, really hot, especially in New Caledonia and Vanuatu. It was boiling. I remember constantly I was just sweating and like sunburnt. I got really sunburnt on the cruise. It was really, really bad. But yeah, out of the country, I've only been to 2 countries. Vanuatu is definitely my favorite. I have been to quite a few places in the country, in Australia. I've been to Sydney, Melbourne, and I've also been to Mount Hotham, which is in Victoria. So Mount Hotham is probably the my second favorite place I've been to out of my state. So Mount Hotham is kind of just a mountain in Victoria, and it's like one of the snow towns that we have in Victoria. Where I live, we don't get any snow. Pretty sure there's only snow, Australia only gets snow in Tasmania, Victoria, and maybe in some parts of Sydney. Can't be too sure on that. But Mount Hotham, I went in my senior year of high school. So my high school I went to, they do every year, they do Mount Hotham trips. They do like a snow trip. And I got to go, you get to go in year 11 and 12, but I only went in my last year, which as a girl, I wish I went in my year 11 and year 12, 2 years. But I loved Mount Hotham. I just loved being able to experience the snow for the first time. Like it was the first time I had ever seen snow. It took me 17 years, but I finally got to see snow. And I just loved it so much. We were there for 5 days. I think we took like snowboarding lessons and everything. It was just so much fun. It was so cold. I think it was like -3 degrees every day we were there, between -3 and 0 degrees every day we were there. But I loved it. Even though I hate the cold, I loved the snow. But yeah, definitely Mount Hotham is my second favorite place I've been out of state. My first favorite has been Sydney. I went to Sydney in 2020. That was actually where we had to go to get on the cruise because our cruise was departing from Sydney. So we actually went to Sydney a day early. We spent 1 night in Sydney before the cruise. And I loved Sydney. I actually kind of want to move to Sydney. I just loved how like busy it was. Everyone's just hustling, bustling, always on the move. I just love all the big buildings. Where I live, we are quite small, and we're not the smallest, but we are quite small. And our city just is tiny compared to like Melbourne and Victoria. Melbourne and Sydney. But I love Sydney. They have my favorite Mexican restaurant there, and I can't wait to go up to Sydney to eat that food, eat there again. I love how many Starbucks they have. We don't have Starbucks where I live. I think they're only like Queensland, Victoria, like Melbourne and Sydney. So I love Sydney because of all the Starbucks. And yeah, I just love Sydney. I just love how busy it is. That's probably it for out of the state. I've been to Melbourne, but I didn't love Melbourne. There was something about it. I think because I don't know why. I went when I was super young. I haven't been for years. I think the last time I went, I was in, I want to say like 2015, maybe even, no, not even 2015. I want to say like 2014, 2013. I'm not too sure, but it was years ago. I've been to Melbourne twice. I went probably in 2010, 2011, and then I went again probably a few years after that. So I want to say the last time I went was in 2014. 2013 or 2014. I want to say 2013 actually, because it was when my youngest brother was still very like a baby. He's like 11, he's 10 now. So yeah. I'm not too sure, but I have to love Melbourne. I think if I was to go now that I'm older, like I'm 21 now, I think if I was to go now, I might enjoy it a little bit more. But at the time, I just didn't love it, and yeah, but yeah. And then there's just two places in my state that I love, Carrickawlinga and Rapid Bay. They're just beach towns, and the water there is very clear and blue. It's amazing. It's very down south. It's about 2 hours from where I live. And the beaches down south are just amazing, and I just love how blue and clear it is down there. So yeah, those are probably the two that I love. Adelaide Hills are very good as well, and Barossa Valley is very good too. I do love the Barossa Valley. But yeah, I think, oh, and I love Port Elliot and Victor Harbour. So yeah, more out of my state, out of the state is a little bit better. Like I love Sydney. Cannot wait to go to Sydney. I'm actually going to I'll leave that for the next one. I was going to say where I want to go, but yeah, those are probably all the places I've been and I've loved. Definitely Vanuatu, loved Vanuatu. But yeah, that's all the places I love.
It sounded like a pretty good lineup.
Yeah.
Next on our list is to talk about places we want to go. So I picked a few places that I want to go. I just want to go everywhere. So I'm gonna say that first. I want to go pretty much everywhere. There's like a select few places that I wouldn't mind never going, but most places I would like to go. So the ones that are on my at the top of my list are I want to go to Ireland. I definitely want to go to Ireland someday. Um I've been saying for so long that I'm gonna go. I want to go on one of those tours where they just bring you around everywhere. Um so you kind of hop around all of Ireland. And I don't know, I've heard mixed reviews on those kind of tours, but most people I feel like enjoy it more when they go on the tours versus if they rent their own car because then they don't really know where to go. So, yes, I definitely want to go to Ireland. The next thing on my list, I want to go to Turks and Caicos. Um, that's one of the more expensive islands, I think, compared to the others that I've mentioned. I know there's definitely more expensive places to go for islands, like what's it called? The Maldives. I think that's like way more expensive, like super duper expensive. But Turks and Caicos, it's a little more pricey, but I definitely want to go there someday. So I definitely want to go to Turks and Caicos. I know it's a little more pricey, but honestly, even if I go there on a cruise, like as a stop, I feel like I would be content with it. I have my whole life to go there, so maybe I'll go there when I'm retired and my kids moved out of the house or something. I have less or all of more money then. Um, so that's on my list. I don't know. It looks so beautiful, and I've always just wanted to go there. So that's on my list. Next I have Ibiza. I want to go to Spain, but I highlighted Ibiza because I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I think I am because of the song, but I feel like I need to go there while I'm young before I have kids just to like go and party. I heard it's like super duper fun and it's good to do it while you're young. Um and my manager's daughter was telling me about how because her parents are from England, and I guess they went when they were young after they graduated high school. It was like a whole thing that everyone like went and traveled together over there and went to Ibiza. So I kind of want to do the same. Well, I'm way out of high school now, but um I want to go to Ibiza soon. I even said that to my friends the other day. I was like, before anyone gets married or has children or anything, I need to go there. Um, so Spain's on my list, more specifically Ibiza. But if I go to Spain, I want to go everywhere. So, the next place on my list is Saint John, U.S. Virgin Island. It's supposed to be very pretty there. I didn't know what Virgin Island to pick. out of the US Virgin Islands. Because I honestly would be fine going to any of them. So I just randomly picked St. John. Um, they're all supposed to be so beautiful. Some people in my family, they go literally every year. So I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to go, but yeah, that's on my list. And also, this was not on my list, but I wanted to put it on my list. One of the top places I want to go someday is Australia. And I'm not just saying that because of Tiana, but I've always wanted to go there. And the person that really sparked it, which is so cheesy because I don't understand why like me and my friends were like obsessed with him back then, but it was Cody Simpson. Like I've wanted to go to ever since I've wanted to go to Australia. um so yeah, those are on my list of places I want to go. I don't really have super exciting reasons as to why I want to go there. I just want to go everywhere, like I said. So yeah. Alrighty. So I apologize if it sounds different than the first half because our session timed out on Zoom, but we are back on to our next half. I finished off with places I want to go, and now it is Tiana's turn to talk about places she wants to go.
Alrighty, now places I want to go to. Let me just quickly pull up my list. But the first place, before I pull that up, because I can remember them, the first place I want to visit would be now this is in Australia. I just want to visit Gold Coast, which I'm actually going to at the end of the year. Going with my best friend. We're going to see 5 Seconds of Summer, and I'm so excited. It was either go to Melbourne or Gold Coast, and we've been wanting to go to Gold Coast for ages. So we booked it. We're going to Gold Coast for a week at the end of December. So it's a little just end of year trip. It's just a trip because like not really celebratory, but also kind of sort of because I would have finished all my exams by then. I think I would have finished my exams like 2 weeks before we go. So that means like celebrating my third year being over and done, which is kind of exciting. But I've always wanted to go to Gold Coast, so that's on my list. And then out of the country, I have quite a few, but the first place is New Zealand. Love New Zealand. I just love everything about it. I kind of want to go in the winter because they kind of get snow and their mountains look amazing. I can't remember if I want to go where all the places I want to go is in New Zealand. I like the North Island, like the north half or the south half, I think is what they call it. They've got the north and south of the island. But I would love to go to New Zealand. I would actually love to go to New Zealand on a cruise. I want to go on another cruise so badly. But I think a New Zealand cruise would be good. And I've heard very good things about New Zealand cruises. So I would love to go to New Zealand. No particular reason, just because it looks amazing. And then these two places are two places I really want to go and visit in America. These two have always been on my list, and not just because of Lauren, like Lauren said about Australia, but I've always wanted to go to these two places. The first one is my top spot, the top place I want to visit in America, which is New York. Now, this is kind of like the lawyer side in me, the lawyer bit inside of me. I just see photos of New Zealand and not New Zealand, New York, photos of New York, and I just love how the city looks. I've heard good things and bad things about New York, but it's just a place that I've always wanted to visit, and I think it'll be amazing. I just really want to visit New York and just experience the New York life. Central Park looks really good as well. So yeah, I think it's just all the movies that I watched as a kid that have New York in it. That just makes me really want to visit it. And then also the lawyer side in me, which really wants to visit New York. The next place is, and there's no actually particular reason behind why I want to visit this place, but it's kind of like just looking at it and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I want to go here. And that would be San Francisco. I don't know what it is. I really want to see the bridge. I can't remember what the bridge is called. But I really want to go to San Francisco, and it's just been a spot in America that I've always wanted to go and visit. Um, yeah, not too sure why. Just always would love to go to not New York, San Francisco. My words are all getting jumbled up. Um, and so yeah, those are two places in America that I would love to go to. The next place would be London, or just actually really any place in England, but I'm going to say London because that is like the capital. But I would love to go to England, and I would love to visit London. There's just something about London. There's no particular reason behind why I want to go here. There's no particular reason actually behind why I want to go to the rest of these places, either just because I want to go there. I want to travel. I want to go there. My grandparents are actually from England. My grandma was actually born in England. So I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I just want to go to London, just to experience the like UK life, because that is kind of my heritage. So I would love to go to England, London. I'm actually thinking of doing a oh god, what is it called? I had it in my head before. An exchange program, either for like Germany or England, or there's another place. I think there's another place. I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was Wales. Just I would love to go to Europe. The next place would be Amsterdam. I just seen photos of Amsterdam. I've read like books that have Amsterdam in it, and it just gives me good vibes. And I just want to visit Amsterdam. So that's another place on my list. Spain, I want to visit also. Spain's always been on my list of like countries I want to visit. So Spain is another place that I would love to go to. There's actually no actual reason why I want to go here, just that I want to experience traveling and just see what Spain's about. And then these two last places, I've got Greece, specifically Santorini, because I've seen photos and it looks amazing, all those white buildings and everything. Yeah, just Santorini. And then either like the Maldives or like Fiji. Would just love to experience something tropical. But yeah, that's probably all from me. That's all the places I want to visit.
I totally forgot to put Greece on my list. But I definitely want to go to Greece someday too. But
yeah,
like you said, I want to go everywhere. So but yeah, your list sounds pretty good too. I don't know.
yeah.
I wish I had all this money grown on trees or something so I could just go everywhere right now, but
Yeah, would be nice.
yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Hopefully someday I'll have all the boxes checked off. We'll see. But yeah. So I guess those are our favorite places we've been and places we want to go for this episode. We have another episode that is probably going up before this one with our guest speaker, which if you haven't listened to it yet, then go ahead and take a listen to it now if it's up. And we'll be back with another episode soon. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And if you have any suggestions, go to our Instagram, which is the Hype Gals Podcast. Bye, guys.
Thanks, bye.
If you guys haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.